Hello, good evening. My name is Richard. This is Over and Over Again, and this is, of course, the preview of the Euros 2025. Of course, the tournament was kicked off today, and England, of course, are starting a defence of the competition on Saturday, isn't it? Of course, Saturday evening against France. So we're going to look ahead to the tournament. We're going to look at each group, see who we think is going to qualify for the knockout stage, see how well we think England can do, and look at the team to start against France, or who we think the team's going to be to start against France, and of course who we think is going to end up lifting that trophy in a few weeks' time. Will it be Serena for a third time in a row? Well, that would be some achievement, wouldn't it? So yeah, it's going to be good, this. So we are going to crack on and enjoy looking forward to this Euro 2020. And of course, joining us is, of course, the Lord Andreas is joining us for his big preview show tonight. Looking forward to this tournament. Of course, it's going to be a lot of fun, isn't it, over the next few weeks? And hopefully England can do themselves justice and proud, as we did, of course, 3 years ago when we lifted that trophy, of course, at Wembley. Andreas, good to see you. Are you looking forward to the tournament?
Yeah, of course, very much looking forward to the tournament. I think this will be fantastic. Euros. It's close to my home, so I will travel next week to see 4 group matches live, and yeah, can't wait that the real tournament starts. I saw a piece of Finland versus Iceland. Was not the best game, but well, it's 2 outsiders, and can't expect the top level. But anyway, it's starting, and I'm excited.
Exactly, yeah. It's sort of taken a long time to come round. Maybe it started a bit later than tournaments generally do. They normally start maybe June. This one's a bit later. But anyway, it's starting. But before we get into the tournament itself, there has been some exciting news today, of course. There has been some really exciting news in the world of Arsenal. Of course, as we know, this player has joined Arsenal on a permanent contract, of course. Chloe Kelly, who's, of course, over there in Switzerland with England. We kind of knew it was going to happen anyway. Her contract at Manchester City expired, and it was revealed today. Obviously, that was done before she flew over to Switzerland, because all the images and the videos and stuff were at the Emirates. So obviously that was done a few days ago. But anyway, it's great news that she signed. She had a big impact at the end of last season. Andreas, you must be pleased that we've got her on a permanent now, because she did so well, didn't she, at the end of last season?
Yeah, finally it was announced. It's still this noise in the background from you, just like last time. that's better.
I don't know what's going on with it. Anyway,
Much better. Yes.
it's good, isn't it, that Chloe Kelly's we finally got her on a deal, because she's had such an impact, didn't she, last season?
Yeah, it was the right fit. It was the best that could happen for the player and for the club. In January, we were not sure will it work, but anyway, we saw that she had a big impact, and as she said, she won her smile back, and it seems that working with Renee was exactly what Chloe needed. Yeah, she returned to the starting 11. Oh, yeah, she returned to the starting 11 in a team, and she had an impact for our attacking line. The connection between Chloe and the fans, the supporters, was there from the first moment, and I think the way she acted after the Champions League final on the pitch in Lisbon, when she pointed to the badge and made the sign. You could say this means I'm staying here, and I think we all expected the signing, but anyway, it's good that it's now official, and before the Euros, so for her it's good. It's all said and done. We know that we can count on her, and I think it will be a 3 years contract. This was said before. Also, Tim Stillman said Chloe wants a longer contract because she's 27 now. It's the most important contract in her career. Yeah, so far everything fits, and I'm really happy, and I think we will see a lot of good things from her in the next season.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I know it was. She came to Arsenal when she was going for a difficult period in her life and her career, and she hadn't played much football. And could she hit the ground running at Arsenal and stuff like that? But I mean, she settled in straight away, didn't she? And I'm really excited that we've signed her. And yeah, as you say, I'm sure she's going to have a really big impact for us over the next few seasons. And yeah, hopefully she'll help this team to grow and develop, because we've got exciting times to come. Having won the Champions League, it's a great season ahead now. We've got to push on from there, and I think Chloe Kelly is an important part of that now. And hopefully we'll get 1 or 2 more new signings in as well before the new season starts. But we'll worry about that a bit later on. For the time being, obviously, we've got this tournament to come. It's going to be exciting. And what I think we'll start with doing, we'll have a look at each of the 4 groups, and we'll make predictions as to who we think is likely to be the 2 teams that's going to go through to the knockout stage. Because, of course, this is the last tournament that's going to be this format, isn't it? With 4 groups of 4. It's going to expand for the next one, which is, I'm not too keen on that idea necessarily. But anyway, let's enjoy it while it's still a good format, which I quite enjoy. So this is Group A. Obviously, we've had 1 game already. Finland beat Iceland 1-0. Switzerland and Norway have just kicked off in the other game. So, Andreas, who do you think is going to qualify from that group?
It looks a bit unfair, because this group is compared to our group a very weak one. And my favorites in this group is Norway. If you look on their squad and the names in their squad, Norway should be a candidate for the semifinals. But the last tournaments, they bottled it because I don't know what happened, but if you can say, the egos of the players were too big, or they were acting like 11 single players, but not as a team. And if they can act as a team, if they develop together, then with the quality the individual players have, Norway is a favorite, and I think they should win the group. But we will see tonight when they face Switzerland, the host. It's always a difficult game, and normally I'd say it's Norway first and Switzerland second. And for the tournament, it would be important that the hosts qualify at least for the knockout stage. But the last results from Switzerland were very poor. I thought Iceland might have a chance, but now they lost 1-0 to Finland. They lost their captain, Viggo Sottir, due to injury at halftime. So I say Norway winning the group and Switzerland qualifying as second. It's probably the easiest group.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's a shame, isn't it, the way the tournament's worked out, because the other three groups are really competitive, and we're going to come on to them in a minute, and we'll see how difficult it is to maybe predict the two teams to go through. But this group does seem to be, particularly with the first result, I think, had Iceland beaten Finland, you would have said they might have had a chance of getting a result against Switzerland, and who knows, they could have sneaked through. But now it seems unlikely that Iceland will get anywhere through the group. So it is looking as though it's going to be Switzerland and Norway to progress. I kind of agree. I think Norway, depending on the result tonight, this will probably decide who wins the group, maybe, won't it? Whoever wins this game tonight will probably win the group and potentially get an easier passage through, potentially, but nothing's going to be easy when you get to the knockouts in this tournament. That group, whether it was set up so Switzerland had a slightly easier pathway through rather than sticking them in a group with some stronger teams, I don't know. But anyway, it is what it is, and I expect Norway and Switzerland to qualify and make it through to the quarterfinals, and we'll see. But yeah, this group doesn't really... It's not a group that I'm particularly looking forward to watching the games in. I don't think it's going to be the most exciting group, is it? Probably not going to be many goals. I think it's going to be a fairly mundane group, really. But yeah, I expect Norway and Switzerland to come out on top and qualify through. We get onto Group B now. Group B is a lot more interesting, isn't it? I mean, look at that there. You've got Spain, Portugal, Belgium and Italy. That looks like a really tasty group, that, doesn't it? It really does. Obviously, Spain will be the massive favourites to win the group and go through. But behind them, you could make a case for any of those three teams, really, couldn't you? Making it through in second place. Not much to choose there. Portugal obviously got some really good players. Belgium on their day can beat anybody, and Italy maybe the slight underdogs in that group, but they've got some good players. They can sneak a result here and there. I mean, who do you expect to qualify with Spain?
Yeah, exactly, with Spain, because Spain is my top favorite for the whole Euro, and I think it's only the question who reaches the final against Spain. So in this group, Spain will win all three games normally, even if Aitana is not playing in the first game or maybe in the whole group stage. Spain is massive favorite to win this group. The other three, they are more on level of Group A, so everything is possible. I saw Portugal about 4 weeks ago in Wembley, when they lost 6-0 against the Lionesses, and it was a very poor performance from Portugal. But on the other hand, we only had a draw away at Portugal, and we lost away at Belgium. So don't underestimate these teams. Everything is possible. They both could challenge for the second, or compete for the second place in this group, but I think Italy will go through. The development of the Italian league is it's slowly getting better and more competitive, although Juve had a very bad Champions League group stage this season. But anyway, I think Italy could be second place in this group, but it's everything possible.
It is. Yeah, I say you've got obviously Spain and one of the other three are gonna sneak in there. I'm kind of tempted to go with Belgium. I just, I think I don't know. I just fancy they might just be able to sneak through in second place. But to be honest with you, it could be any of those three could go through, because all three of them teams can be quite unpredictable. I mean, we saw, like you said, against Portugal, we thrashed them at home, but away we struggled. And we've lost, like you said, we've lost to Belgium. So I don't know. I just feel that over the games, maybe Belgium will be the stronger team out of the other three, and maybe just sneak second place. But I don't think there's going to be much in it. Like you said, I expect Spain to win all three games and qualify quite comfortably. But I think it's going to be really close behind those three. The games when those play each other is going to maybe be crucial, isn't it? If Belgium can beat Portugal and get a draw with Italy, it's probably enough for them to go through. And equally, the other way around, it's difficult to call that one. Makes it quite an interesting group, actually. I'm quite looking forward to seeing how that one plays out, because it could be, I say, difficult to call who's going to come second, but I'll go with Belgium. Obviously, you can go with Italy, and we'll see. It'll probably be Portugal that go through now, just because we didn't predict them. Of course, Group C as well, another quite interesting group, I feel. Obviously, Germany and Sweden stand out there as maybe the top two teams, but I mean, Denmark on their day, they've got some decent players. They can pull off a result. I mean, obviously, Poland are the underdogs in that particular group. I mean, Germany should win the group, though, shouldn't they? I think that's fairly obvious.
It's Germany or Sweden. I think Sweden has a really strong team. Just look at the attacking line with Fridolina Rolfö, with Rytting Kaneryd from Chelsea, and of course Stina Blackstenius. In defense, there is Magda Eriksson, former Chelsea player, now at Bayern Munich. Linda Sembrand, although she's already 37, she had a big impact on Bayern Munich defense. So Sweden has a very good quality in their squad, and it's between Sweden and Germany, I think. But I expect Germany to win the group, especially after the last Nations League results when they won 6-0, 6-1 against Netherlands, or 4-1 and 6-0 against Austria. I mixed it up, but anyway, they had very good results recently, and they go with a lot self-confidence. I'm reading a lot in German publications, and they say, we are traveling to Switzerland to win the Euros, and with this self-confidence, a good squad, I think Germany wins the group, and Sweden will be runners-up. Denmark, they lost 6-1 against Sweden 4 weeks ago. It's a lot depends on Pernille Harder. Is she in her best form? Can she score a lot of goals as she did in the Bundesliga season? And Poland, it's Eva Pajor. She can score against every team. But who is there besides Eva Pajor? It's not the quality in the squad, or at least in the starting 11. So Denmark and Poland will go out in Group C.
I would be very surprised if that wasn't the case. Obviously, Germany and Sweden are going to be massive favourites to go through. But I think Denmark on their day can give anyone a game. And if they can turn up with a good performance, obviously the game against Sweden is a bit of a derby match to a certain degree, isn't it? So there could be a little bit of a needle in that one. And who knows, if they can get a result against Sweden, they could sneak in. But I would be very surprised. Like you said, Sweden have got a very good squad. And also as well, I mean, Sweden have got the experience, haven't they, of going far into tournaments. You know, they generally do well, don't they? Quarterfinals, semi-finals is where they usually get to. So I'll be very surprised if the same didn't happen this time. And obviously, you know, we've got a bit of interest in the Swedish team, obviously, with Stina. And, I mean, Amanda Ilestad's in the squad as well. I know she's unlikely to play too much this time. But, so, you know, we've got a bit of interest there. But, yeah, I mean, I think it would be a surprise if it wasn't Germany and Sweden that went through. But who knows? Sometimes, you know, football tournaments can throw up some strange results. And, you know, I'll say Denmark are certainly capable of sneaking through. So let's see what happens there. But I think we'd all be surprised if it wasn't Germany and Sweden. Of course, the group we've all been looking forward to seeing is, of course, Group D. And look at that group. Wow, what a group that is. England, France. I don't quite know what Wales are doing in there. But anyway, England, France, Wales, and, of course, the Netherlands. Wow, the last two winners of the Euros in the same group. And, of course, France, who are no mugs either. I mean, this is probably the most difficult group to call in some ways, isn't it? Because you know, England, France, and Netherlands are fighting over two spaces, aren't they, in the next round? And those two games, obviously, our first two games are against France and Netherlands, and that's going to really decide our chances, really, aren't they? We need at least one win, I think, one win and a draw potentially in those two games to kick off the tournament, and then we'll be in massive favourites to go through. But it's certainly an interesting group, isn't it? Because, you know, okay, Wales are in there to, you know, making up the numbers, you do feel, and they're going to be the kind of team that probably loses all three games. But it's difficult to call this one, isn't it? It really is. We've had some good results against France. We beat them away from home in the Nations League. They beat us at home. You know, we know against Holland, we've played a few games against them in recent years. We've had some difficult games. We've had some good performances coming back from 2-0 down at Wembley to beat them 3-2. And, you know, it's been a bit of a mixed bag against both of those teams, actually, in recent years. So it's it's a really tough group for England, isn't it? Why couldn't we have had Finland and Iceland in our group? Why do we have to get Netherlands and France? You know, we're the holders. We should have got an easier path. But anyway, if you're going to win a tournament, you're going to have to beat some good teams along the way. So let's get them out of the way early, and at least one of those 3 teams is going to be knocked out. One of the 3 strong teams in the tournament are going to go out in the first round. So let's just hope and pray it isn't England that do get knocked out. I personally don't think it will be. But what are you thinking, Andreas? Because this is such a difficult group to call, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called the group of death, and that's true. I think it's 3 teams you could call favorites for winning the title, and one of these 3 teams will be out after group stage, and one of these 3 teams will have to face Germany in the quarterfinals. So that's also very difficult. Germany or Sweden. If you win the group, then probably you have to face Sweden. What's not easy if you go through as runners up, you probably have to play Germany. So this shows it's a very difficult group, and it's a difficult path through the tournament for all 3 teams. And I think France and Netherlands are also not happy with the draw or with this group. They also would have preferred to avoid England. So yeah, a lot will depend of the first game. I think we play against France, and it's the first game in a tournament. It's always difficult, and the others is Netherlands versus Wales. So probably Netherlands will start with 3 points. Our second game is against Netherlands. If we lose against France, then the pressure will be very high, and Netherlands could go in the second game and say, "Oh, a draw could be enough." So, yeah, losing is forbidden in the first game against France. France is without Le Sommer and Renard. This was a bit surprising, but today I read these 2 players are they aren't the best for a group, for development of a group. Also, their ego is extremely high, and maybe it's better for the team, for the for the atmosphere in the squad that they are not nominated. Let's see if in every tournament we say France is one of the favorites. France will be in the semifinals or in the final. And when did they win anything? Never. So they are not a team for tournaments, as it seems. And Netherlands, well, if with Miedema is on her top level, then she can score against any team. That's difficult. She knows our players, our defenders very well. Difficult. They have a very good goalkeeper, the Netherlands. Not to mention her name, but we all know that they have a very good goalkeeper. France doesn't have the best goalkeeper, I would say, Pauline Perromagnan. At least she's over her best time. Yeah. Let's see. What I read about the Lionesses is that the atmosphere in the squad is very good, and they are focused and optimistic. And yeah, when you look on the names on our team sheet, normally we should go through, but to say who is first and who is second in the group, I'd say France and England go through, but who will be first or second, it's very, very difficult to say.
It is very difficult to say. And I do think this first game on Sunday, as you said, is absolutely crucial, because I think if I've got a feel, we'll come on to score predictions in a minute, but whoever loses that game is particularly if England lose that game, because we've got Netherlands second. Yeah. I mean, yes, France, if we beat France, they're probably going to beat Wales, so they can get their 3 points there. But we've obviously got a tough game against Netherlands. So, yeah, I think that first game is going to be absolutely crucial. I would rather have started against Wales, get 3 points on the board nice and early, and then you're in the driving seat, aren't you? So, but it is what it is, you know. As I said before, if you're going to win a tournament, you've got to beat some good teams along the way, and we're going to probably have to beat. We're going to have to beat at least one of France or Holland, probably potentially both of them, maybe to win the group. So, yeah, it's not the easiest draw, but maybe that's a good thing, because I think sometimes if your group looks reasonably straightforward, you maybe don't, you're not sort of straight on your game from the beginning because you know you can grow into the tournament. Here, we can't afford to grow into the tournament. We've got to go straight at it. We've got to play the first game like it's the final, and then that could actually help us because it gets everybody focused and stuff like that. And maybe it looks difficult on paper and it's not what we would all have chosen, but it might end up doing us a favour because we have to go at it right from the start. We can't afford to be off our game at all. So, yeah, I think Saturday night's game is going to be very, very interesting. The first game is the one that nobody wants to lose because it really does put you under pressure when you've only got 3 games in a group to go through. So I think it's going to be very, very tight and cagey on Saturday. We'll talk about the game in a minute, but yeah, very, very tough group. But yeah, obviously, I'm confident England will go through. One way or the other, I'm sure we'll find a way to get the results that we need to go through. And then who's going to come second? In an ideal world, I'd quite like Netherlands to come second. Daphne's in, obviously, their goalkeeper, and Vicky Palova's in the squad. And I've always had a soft spot for Dutch teams, in the women's and the men's team. I think they always play good football. I like the orange kit and stuff like that. So, and of course, it's Serena's nation. It's of course, it's Renee's nation as well. So it'd be nice, wouldn't it? I suppose. But let's as long as England go through, whoever comes behind us or whoever goes through with us, I'm not overly bothered about. I'd prefer Netherlands given a choice. But as long as we're through into the quarterfinals, I'm not overly fussed. Let's congratulate Wales. Obviously, their first time in a tournament. I hope I'm sure they're going to enjoy it, like Northern Ireland did in the last Euros. And let's hope they're probably not going to get through. They're probably not going to get too many points on the board in this group. But it's good to see Wales qualifying for a tournament, isn't it? And hopefully they'll enjoy it and they'll gain from it and grow from it. And maybe it'll be the first of a few tournaments that they qualify for. But yeah, I'm sure they're not happy to be in this group either, are they? Because it couldn't be much more difficult, could it? Their first ever tournament and they get to play France, Holland and England in the group, which is not easy. But yeah, let's hope and pray England get off to a good start and we can get through. And who knows? It'll be all up for grabs, won't it? So yeah, I think that the groups, overall, it's going to be interesting, isn't it, to see how it plays out because there's a few sort of difficult games to call that's going to be happening in this group stage across the tournament. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be good. Now, of course, we are looking at England and we are the holders. The first time we've ever been holders of the tournament. So I think winning a tournament is difficult. Obviously, it's difficult to win a tournament, but I think being the holders and defending it is probably even more difficult because you've got an extra target on your back. You're the holders. Everybody's going to want to beat you to make a point. And, we've got a tough group as well. I think this is going to be a really, really difficult tournament for England. And if we were to win it back to back with the group that we've got, I think that would be an incredible achievement. Winning this tournament would probably be a bigger achievement than winning it last time. I mean, that was an incredible achievement as it was. But I think to do it again in a tournament away from home with such a tough group, that would be something special. But are England capable? Have we got the squad? Have we got the players? Are we in the right form coming into this tournament to give ourselves a chance to win it? Do you think we've got a chance of winning it?
A chance to win it, of course we have. And there was a bit of noise in while the nominations for the squad came with Mary Earps retiring, Fran Kirby not nominated and retiring, then Millie Bright saying she doesn't feel ready for the tournament. Now we have the squad and we have to look forward. And Hannah Hampton is a very good goalkeeper. She plays different to Mary Earps. I would have preferred Mary in goal because of her experience, her demanding way. She interacts with the defenders. But anyway, Hannah Hampton has also some qualities Mary Earps does not have. She's very good with her feet. And and we saw in the defense, Leah Williamson is back to her best. When we saw the last performance against Barcelona and against Portugal, she was very good. Yeah, let's see. Alex Greenwood is back, so probably this will be the centre backs. Lucy Bronze, despite her age, is still one of the best right backs in the world. Georgia Stanway is back. She was back on the scoring sheet, very important against Jamaica. Ella Toone with 2 goals. So there is a lot of quality. If you see the younger players like Jess Park or Grace Clinton, and our attacking line, Lauren Hemp back, very important, and Leslie Russo, Beth Mead or Chloe Kelly. Yeah, there is a lot of quality. And I think if we go through the group, then everything is possible. Facing Sweden or Germany, yes, it's tough, but we can go through. And just imagine we reach the semifinals, then we have eliminated France or Netherlands and Sweden or Germany. So it's a tough way to the final, but if we go through, everything is possible. The confidence is there. We have a good manager. We have quality in the team. The worst case would be going out in the group stage, but I don't think this will happen. And then let's see how far that we will go in this tournament. Reaching the final against Spain would be fantastic. And of course, I have tickets for the Netherlands game and for the Wales game. So we can't be out in group stage after 2 games. I want the Wales game be important, and if we win against Wales, then I want to celebrate with the other England supporters that we have won the group or at least qualified. So it's not allowed to bottle it in the first 2 games. I'm traveling to Switzerland to see us win.
Absolutely. I am, as I said before, I'm pretty confident we will get through the group, as difficult as it is. Obviously, after that, it's going to get. The quarterfinals of a tournament is never easy anyway, because you're going to be facing the best teams in the world, aren't you? That's what it's about, and that's how it's going to work out. It's going to probably be Germany or Sweden, as we said, in the quarterfinal, and then let's hope for the best. I've got to be honest. A few months ago, I didn't think we had any chance of winning the tournament at all. I was thinking, maybe getting through the group stage and then see where we go. But I think recent performances from England have given me a lot more hope. The fact that we've now got some players back fit again. Yes, we've lost a few to retiring and not wanting to play and this, that, and the other. And there's been a little bit of unease about that, unrest maybe around it all. But I'm not that disappointed. The only player who's maybe not going, that's pulled out, that I'll kind of I think we might miss, is Millie Bright, because I think Millie Bright, the character that she's got, the experience that she's got, I think that she's the only one I look at. I think Fran Kirby is a great player, but she's very hit and miss now. She's past her best. And I think we've got other players who can come in and do that job. And as you said, Hannah Hampton, I think Hannah Hampton's a great goalkeeper. I really do. I think she's a really, really good goalkeeper. I'm not the slightest bit worried that she is going to have to play in this tournament. I would probably have picked her ahead of Mary Earps anyway, personally. So I'm not overly concerned with that situation. The backup is a problem. If Hannah Hampton gets injured, we've got a slight problem there. But I think that's the nature of a goalkeeping situation anyway. It's difficult to have more than one top quality goalkeeper in your squad, really, at any level. So, but yeah, I think, I say recent performances have really given me hope. Lauren Hemp's back. She's a massive player. Really, really missed her when she wasn't playing. Lauren James is back. I think she could potentially be the wild card that could, I'm not necessarily expecting her to start games at the beginning because her match fitness isn't quite there yet, but I can see her coming off the bench as she did against Jamaica and having an impact. She's a match-winning player. You can bring her off the bench and she can win you a match. And I think that she could be a really, really important player for us. If she can get her head right, cut out all the silliness that's happened at the World Cup and this, that, and the other, I think she could be she could be the most important player in that squad for us in some ways, I think. I'm a little bit more confident with the backup now to Lessie in the centre forward position. I didn't feel we had any other options there, but I think Aggie Beever-Jones has come in recently. She can score goals at this level. She's shown that now, and I've got no problem at all. And I actually think that Aggie Beever-Jones in this tournament could have a similar impact from the bench that Leslie Russo did in the last Euros. I can see her coming off the bench and getting some important goals, and I'm kind of pretty confident about that now. And I think overall the squad looks well balanced. I think having Alex Greenwood alongside Leah Williams was a good balance. They have a left foot and a right foot. I think it opens up the pitch a lot more. So I'm quite happy with that. My biggest concern has always been in the left back position. I don't think we've got a world-class left back. Yeah. And I know in the last Euros it was the same. Rachel Daly, not her natural position, had to play there. She did really well. But she was having to fill in that position. And I think this time, we've got Neve Charles, who's okay. She's a good left back, but she's not a top level left back. You've got Jess Carter. I don't think left back's her best position anyway, but she plays there quite a lot. And I do feel as though that could be the weak area of the team. But I feel everywhere else, I look through that and I think we've got quality in the starting 11, and we've got quality off the bench as well now to come in. Ella Toons finding her form again, which is crucial. Like you said, Georgia Stanway's back, finding the goals the other day, which was great as well. And, we've got options. Grace Clinton, I think, could be a big tournament for her. I think she's ready to make an impact at this kind of level as well. So I'm really excited, actually, about, the England chances of getting through the group is going to be tough. But once we do, and should we get through the group, I can see us being very, very difficult to beat in a knockout game. I really can. I think defensively we're pretty good now. We look solid. We've got quality going forward, and I'm excited. Actually, can we win it again? I don't know. Obviously, Spain are the team to beat, as we know. But having watched Arsenal beat Barcelona in the final of the Champions League, there's no reason why the Lionesses can't beat Spain if we get the opportunity to play them. So I'm reasonably confident. Can we win it? Yes, I think we can. Will we win it is the question, and that's going to play out over the next few weeks, I suppose. But I'm really confident. I am really confident that, I say maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I wouldn't have given us any hope at all. But now I think the last few games have really given me confidence. I think Serena seems to have, she's been lucky the fact that these players are coming back to fitness at the right time, which has helped, obviously. But I think that the whole planning was all about the tournament. And I think we maybe overreacted a little bit to some poor performances before. But it doesn't matter how you play in January or how you played last year. What matters is how it all comes together over these next few weeks. And that's what matters. And I can see it coming together. It just seems as though it's the right time. And we've got some young players who have stepped up, proved they can do a job. And I actually think England could. I wouldn't say it wouldn't be a surprise if England was to win it necessarily, because we are one of the top teams in Europe anyway. But I really think we could. I think we can go all the way. I really do. So confident. Actually, we've got a few comments actually. Angie's with us, says watching Frida versus. Well, of course, yeah. That's an interesting matchup there, isn't it? Greg says good news about Kelly. Crap news about signing another keeper for the men. I thought our priority was to sign a striker. Well, no, obviously we're going to sign loads of defenders, loads of goalkeepers, and loads of midfielders, because that's what we always do. But yeah, it is great news about Kelly, of course. Greg says another free transfer. When are the women going to spend money to improve the side? Well, if you don't need to spend money to improve the side, then don't spend money. If you can get great players on free transfers, yes, we are going to have to buy some players as well, and I'm sure we will. We've got a little bit of money now, having won a little tournament last season, so I'm sure we'll have some money to spend, won't we? Joe's going to say, says, even watching Swiss v Norway, the usual, it's shoved down our throat brigade by blokes who should go and live in Afghanistan. Well, yeah, if the opposite sex offends them. So, yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I've spent so much time trying to convince, certain people that follow the men's game to give the women's game a chance, and sometimes just banging your head against the wall, aren't they? But to me, it's their loss, because they are missing out on what's the great stuff that's going on in the women's game. So if they don't want to get involved in it, that's their loss, isn't it, as far as I can see. Joe says it's good to see Hemp and Stanway back. Indeed, yeah, it is, and Greenwood as well. Yeah, Joe says Greenwood as well. So let's see. And says it's quite a good match. Oh, is it quite a good match? Is it still 0-0? I think it is, as it was last time I checked.
Switzerland is leading 1-0.
Oh, who scored?
Riesen, Nadine Riesen. I think she's playing in the German Bundesliga.
Wow. So Switzerland are off and running in their home tournament. So I'm sure that's gone down pretty well there. So, but yeah, I mean, that's a big game in that group, isn't it? And I'm sure if Switzerland win, that'll put them in a very strong position, won't it, to qualify. And I suppose it's nice it's nice if the host go through, isn't it? I think at the end of the day, I think all tournaments need the host to do well, because it keeps the interest with the local people going and stuff like that. And I think it's good that they're not going to win the tournament, obviously, but it would be nice if they go through and keep the interest going. So that could be a good result there for Switzerland. Obviously, England don't start until Saturday, so we've got a chance to watch a few teams first. Some of our rivals playing, of course, in the meantime, so that's going to be good. But obviously, Saturday night is the game, isn't it? England against France. Wow, that is incredible first game to have, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. I mean, Andreas, what do you think? How do you think that's going to play out? Obviously, the first game in the group, and the pressure is on both of these two teams, because say whoever loses this game is going to be under quite a lot of pressure to go through. So, how do you think it's going to play out on Saturday?
It will be a very good game, as both teams have a lot of quality. And remember, 3 years ago, our first game against Austria, it was 1-0, and lots of chances. But in the end, we were lucky to have brought the ball 1 centimeter behind the line. It was this Beth Mead goal. So the first game is always important, always difficult, and I think both teams won't risk too much. So I see a draw coming on Saturday. So 1-1 would be my prediction. And to what you said about our squad, I forgot Lauren James. Yes, she's back too, and she can have an impact during the tournament. Hopefully, we stay in the tournament for a longer time, and then she will return to her full match fitness. Yes, I forgot her. So she's another secret weapon we have. And but on Saturday, I think we'll start with a 1-1 against France.
Yeah, I must admit, I kind of feel it could well be a draw. And I don't think a draw is a bad result, actually. I wouldn't mind a draw. Obviously, a win would be fantastic. But given the circumstances of it right now, I would take a draw, and I'd be pretty happy with a draw. I wouldn't be too disappointed with that at all. So, I mean, we can't lose the game. I think, as you said before, that would put us real pressure when it should be lose. So I would take a draw. I think a draw would be a reasonable result to take into the Holland game. We may need to win that game, though, bearing in mind France will probably beat Wales. Holland will probably beat Wales. So, if we draw with France and then we maybe draw with Netherlands, we'll have 2 points. France will have 4 points, and Holland will have 4 points, which puts us under pressure. If one of them wins their final game against each other, then we should beat Wales. But I don't know. A draw would be all right, though, on Saturday. I think we'd be really happy with a draw. But yeah, let's go out to try and win the game. We know we can beat France. We've beaten them fairly recently. There's no reason why we can't beat them. But let's make sure we don't. If you can't win your first game, it's important not to lose, isn't it? So let's make sure that we don't lose and get a point on the board at least. I mean, I was at that first game at the Euros before when we played Austria at Old Trafford, and it was a tense-old night, actually, and England didn't play particularly well. We got the goal quite early on that just sneaks up. I mean, we were sitting behind that goal where it went in, and I kind of felt it was in at the time. I thought that's gone over the line, that, and obviously it was confirmed it had. It didn't seem as much doubt. I saw replays of it afterwards and thought, well, actually, it was closer than I thought. I actually thought it was quite a bit over, but it actually wasn't. But anyway, it was a goal. We won that game, and of course, that set us up nicely, didn't it, for the tournament? And the first game is important in any tournament. And yeah, we need a good start, don't we? We definitely need a good start. And says it did like the Chloe Kelly announcement. Well, yeah, it was pretty cool, wasn't it? I don't know why they waited to do it today, particularly.
They could have done it yesterday, couldn't they? Because her contract expired on the 30th of June, didn't it? So they could have announced it on the 1st of July. But anyway, it was quite cool this morning. I did enjoy that. Obviously, she did that before she flew over. Joe says, it's like how Arsenal do their player announcement. Yeah, they do make them quite special, don't they? And it was good. And yeah, I'm really happy with that as well. Greg says, we'll beat France. We haven't got slow coach Bright at the back. Well, no, we haven't. I mean, I do think that Millie Bright could be a miss, actually, because of her experience. But yeah, I think Alex Greenwood and Leah Williamson are a better partnership right now anyway. So I'm not overly concerned about it defensively for us. But there you go. But yeah, let's... can we beat France? Yes, of course we can. But the first games are always nervy affairs, aren't they? Because there's so much at stake. So I'm expecting it to be tight and cagey. And yeah, I'm kind of tempted for a draw. I think 1-1 is probably a good shout for this game. And I'll take that right now, probably, actually. It depends how the game plays out, I suppose. I'm like that with draws. If we've played well and we dominate the game and we're leading and then we concede a stupid goal at the end and draw, you're frustrated and disappointed it's a draw. If it's the other way around and we get absolutely battered and we're losing 1-0 and then we sneak a last-minute equaliser, we'll be over the moon with a draw. But I think overall the draw will be a decent result. And let's hope we can win. But yeah, a draw would be fine. And it'd be a good way to start things off. So, yeah. But, of course, between now and then, there's a few more exciting games to come. Obviously, Germany will be kicking off their tournament. Is it tomorrow they're playing? No. Yeah.
On Friday,
isn't it? Yeah.
Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Yeah, against Poland.
They should win that game, shouldn't they? Fairly comfortably, you imagine.
I think Germany will win against Poland, so I expect 4-1 or something like that, and I expect Sweden to beat Denmark. So the game next week, when on Tuesday, when I'm in Basel in Switzerland to see Germany versus Denmark, this could already decide the group. If Germany wins the first two games, then they are through, and probably Sweden also. Yeah, but the tournament kicks off with very good games. I think Sweden-Denmark is one of the highlight games, and of course then France versus England is the top game of the first round. Yeah, but anyway, you said it twice in today. If you want to win the tournament, you have to beat the best teams, and yeah, let's start winning against the best teams. We have beaten France away in France, and don't think too much about the home game when we lost. No, the last time we faced them, we have won, and it can happen again. And at least I would take a draw, but there's still hope that we start with a win. Would be fantastic.
I would, yeah. I think if we win on Saturday, then you've got to say we're pretty much guaranteed to go through virtually, because we should beat Wales, and that's 6 points minimum, regardless of what happens against Netherlands, and that's going to be enough to qualify, isn't it? But yeah, a win would be fantastic, and let's hope we can do it, because it would ease the pressure a bit. It could be quite nervy against Holland, couldn't it? If we've lost against France, that'll be a really, really big game, that, won't it? That'll be really nervous. Greg says, I think Denmark will beat Sweden. Sweden are an aging squad. Well, they are an aging squad, but then they do have Stina, who's going to score about 4 goals in that game, so they'll probably win, won't they? But no, they are an aging team. I'd say Denmark on their day, I think, can give teams a problem. They can give teams a problem. Didn't Denmark and Sweden play in the last Euros? I'm sure they did, didn't they? Pretty sure they played in the last Euros. I seem to remember them playing, but anyway.
But in a few weeks ago, and then Sweden won 6-1 against Denmark. So,
yeah, but warm-up games and the games in the build-up to a tournament don't always mean as much, do they? You know, I remember before the last Euros, we beat Holland 5-1, didn't we, in a fantastic performance? And okay, yes, when it turned out in a tournament, Holland weren't that great in the end, and didn't progress too far. But you know, I don't necessarily read too much into the games before a tournament necessarily, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be, like you said, there are some interesting games in this first kind of round of matches. Actually, it's going to be quite good to see how all the favourites get on. And who knows? We're sitting here thinking, well, Spain are likely going to go through, no problem. Maybe they won't. Maybe they might have a few problems along the way. Maybe they might be overconfident. Maybe they might play too much football in some games. Who knows? Maybe someone can beat them. Hopefully it'll be us if we play them, but we can't meet them till the final anyway. The way that the draws kind of panned out. So but no, I'm looking forward to these first round of games to see how the big teams get on and see how everyone settles into the tournament, because I know you don't win a tournament from your first match, but you could lose a tournament in your first match if it doesn't go well. So it's important to get off to a good start for everybody, and I'm sure all the teams are looking forward to their first game and excited for it. And I can't wait for Saturday night. Actually, I've been looking forward to this tournament for ages, and it's going to be great, isn't it? So we'll see. But yeah, it's all kicking off. Is it still 1-0 to Switzerland? Is that still the score? Hang on, let's just check. It was 1-0 to Switzerland. Yeah, it's nearly half time, almost half time. It is 1-0 still to Switzerland against Norway. So that's could be a good start for them, couldn't it? At their own tournament, which is good. So yeah, interesting stuff. So Group A is up and running. And of course, it's Group B tomorrow, isn't it? That's taking centre stage. So we'll see how that all plays out. And of course, we are off and running on Saturday, which is going to be good, isn't it? So I suppose really then we need to look at a tournament prediction, don't we? Who is going to win? I mean, I know Spain are the favourites, but do we think Spain are going to win? Do you think Spain are going to win it, Andreas? Will they be lifting that trophy in a few weeks' time? Or will it be someone else? Maybe England or Germany?
It will be Spain. As I said, I expect the question to be who is reaching the final against Spain, and so it's only one place left for the final, and who will be the team in the final? Right now, before having seen all the favorites, I'd say it's Spain against Germany. But anyway, maybe they are too overconfident, the German team, because they are speaking about winning the tournament or reaching the final. And with this generation, and we are ready now, maybe, but sometimes they had their weaknesses in defense. And let's see whether they are as good as they are speaking. And let's see. Right now, I'd say the final is Spain against Germany, but still little hopes for the Lionesses and Sweden. Sweden could be the fourth team in the semifinals.
Oh yeah, but they've got a shot. I say that it's difficult. I think it's quite a difficult tournament to predict, actually, because I think there's very little to choose between quite a lot of the big sides in it. Actually, I think on the day, pretty much anybody could beat anybody. Germany could beat Sweden, Germany can beat England, England can beat Germany, England can beat anybody on their day. Equally, obviously Spain are the favourites. Of course they are. Understandably so. They won the World Cup, and they don't lose very often. But we did beat Spain, didn't we? Quite recently, which was a good performance. So we know we can beat them. We'll need to play well if we have to play them in the final. We'd have to play a lot better than we did in the last final when we played them. But I don't know. I say I'm starting. The longer time's going on, the more and more confident I am that England might actually, do something quite spectacular in this tournament. I feel as though it's all come together it's all coming together quite nicely, in the squad and the players returning to fitness, the way we're playing. Serena knows how to win this tournament. She's won it twice now in a row. And yes, she's been the home nation on those two occasions, and that does help, obviously. But I don't know. I've got a feeling that we could actually do it. I really do. I'm really, really confident. I'm surprised how confident I am, actually, because I say a while ago I didn't think we had any hope at all. I was almost thinking, what's the point of us going? Because we're not going to even get through the group. But now I really do feel it's come together for us, and I don't know. I am really, really confident that we can do it. But it could all be over on Saturday night should we lose to France, because we could actually be knocked out potentially. But yeah, I mean, let's just enjoy it, really. Let's enjoy the football. You know, it's nice again that women's football is going to be in the spotlight. You know, there's no men's football going on at the moment. Well, there's that ridiculous World Club that I was interested in, but you know, the women's football is going to be taking centre stage for the next few weeks. A major tournament, and England again. You know, it's is it for the last 4 summers, England senior team has reached the final. You've had the men in 2021 in the Euros, the women in 2022 in the Euros, the women in 2023 in the World Cup, the men in 2024 in the Euros again, and now it could be 5 in a row. Should England, the Lionesses, reach the final, it'll be 5 summers in a row that an England senior team has reached. I mean, it's a good time for English football at the moment. You know, we're in a really good period, aren't we, in the men's team and the women's team. You know, we're doing okay. We've only won one of those finals, which was, of course, the Lionesses in the last Euros. But you know, for years and years growing up, I've never even seen England really get very close to a final at all. So to suddenly see us getting to so many consecutive finals in consecutive summers has been fantastic, actually. And it is a good time for English football. And let's hope that the Lionesses can make it 5 in a row, 5 finals in a row for England's. And of course, the under-21s just won the Euros as well, didn't they, last week? So it is a good time for English football at the minute. Let's hope the Lionesses can get, you know, help build that momentum and keep it going in this tournament here, because it'd be great. So we'll see. Greg says we've got 6 Champions League winners in our squad, and they don't fear anyone. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I do feel a little bit as well. And maybe I've got a little bit carried away from Arsenal's success in the Champions League a few weeks ago. But I almost feel that, you know, we've got, and I think that experience, because obviously Arsenal have got a lot of players in that squad as well, in the Lionesses squad. You know, obviously Leah as a captain, she's just lifted the Champions League. You know, Leslie Russo as you know, Chloe Kelly, Beth Mead, Lotta Woober-Moy, of course, as well. She's in the squad. So yeah, you're right. We've got players who have just come off the back of one of the most amazing moments of their life. Some of them also was at the Euros 3 years ago, winning it there as well. We've got that experience. They've played in World Cup final. You know, a lot of these Lioness players. You know, they've played in these 2 finals in a row. So yeah, I'm actually really confident. We've got big game players and players who know how to win and want to win and can win when it matters. And I don't know. I think we can take a lot. I think we've got a lot of confidence going into this now, and I'll say I think we can do it. I actually think we can do it. So yeah, I just want us to get started. The only thing when the tournament starts and England don't play for the first few days, it's frustrating, isn't it? Because you're watching all these other teams. I just want to see us play. I want to see us play. But it will soon be here Saturday night. It'll soon be here, and we are going to enjoy it. And it is going to be it's going to be amazing, isn't it? Let's be honest. So yeah, it doesn't quite have the excitement of the last Euros, does it? Let's be totally honest. Maybe that's because the last one was in England. I mean, obviously, you know, Andreas, you know, you don't live in England, but do you feel that this tournament hasn't quite got the same excitement going into it as the last one? I know from England point of view, it was such a big deal to be hosting a tournament and stuff like that, and that's probably why. But do you feel that this one's maybe a little bit more low key than the last one anyway?
It has not yet the excitement as the last tournament. But I remember when I was going to England for the Euros 2022, the atmosphere was growing during the tournament. It was not from the start, right? Euphoria, etc. It was growing, and I was there for a week for several matches, and and when I was walking through the streets in a Lionesses kit, people started to laugh, to give you a smile or give you a thumbs up, etc. When the tournament went going, it was not from the start, and I think it's similar right now. It's Switzerland. It's a small country, and it has to grow and develop. But here in Germany, I think the atmosphere for the women's Euro is much bigger than for the men's Club World Cup in the USA. nobody's really interested. Of course, Bayern Munich fans and Dortmund fans are watching or following the results, but it's more talking about the Euros, the women's Euros, or the publications in the newspapers. It's even on TV there are 2 reports on the weekend about the women's team, and it's growing. And of course, it depends how the teams will do. So if the Lionesses go through with good results against France and Netherlands, then I think the atmosphere in England will be great again. And I mean, I'm returning for the final to Basel end of the month, and I don't want to see Spain against Sweden or against Norway or Netherlands. No, I want to see the Lionesses in the final. I'm going there for the game against Netherlands, against Wales, and for the final. Yeah, they can't disappoint me and fly home after the group stage. I can't allow this.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, that'd be quite a few weeks for you, wouldn't it, Andreas? Obviously, at the Champions League final, seeing Arsenal win, and if the Lionesses can go to the final and win in the final in a few weeks' time, that would be an amazing few weeks, wouldn't it? To be honest, but I think that there's a lot of football to be played, obviously, between now and then, before we get to that point. But yeah, let's dream big, because you can't achieve anything if you don't believe you can achieve it. And I know we're not players; it doesn't really matter too much. But I think the players have got that belief. I think Serena's got that belief, and yeah, I think it's going to be a good few weeks. And hopefully, you'll be able to watch an exciting final in a few weeks' time with hopefully England there. Maybe Spain, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe someone will knock them out on the way. Let's not assume that they're just going to walk through the tournament, because who knows? Someone might beat them. But yeah, it doesn't seem very likely, if we're honest. But who knows? Stranger things have happened in football, haven't they? But yeah, it is going to be. It's good that women's football, I say, is in the spotlight. But I say I don't feel this tournament's quite got the same excitement. Certainly hasn't in England anyway. And obvious reasons for that. It's not in England this time, I suppose. But I've been excited for it. We're the holders of the tournament, and we've got to try and defend this competition. That the only thing I've ever seen England an England senior team win in my whole lifetime. So it'd be nice to see if they can do it again. It's funny, isn't it? Because in recent years, England Lionesses have won a major tournament. And now, of course, very recently, Arsenal women have won the Champions League. The 2 things that I've never seen the men's teams do in either international football or club football, and the women's teams have done it in the last few seasons. So if anyone who doubts if women's football's worth bothering with, look at it like that. If you're an England fan and you're an Arsenal fan, then you'd have experienced 2 amazing things in the last few years that you won't have experienced following men's football, because the men's teams have never been that successful. So, so that's another reason to maybe get involved, isn't it? But anyway, let's hope this tournament is another one that we can get excited about. And says, where's Terry on his hole? Well, I don't know. Actually, yeah, didn't he mentioned about going away, didn't he? I don't know. I think he was going away for a while, wasn't he? But anyway, maybe he's on holiday. I don't know. But anyway, I'm sure he'll be back. I'm sure he'll be back soon. He must be away enjoying the summer somewhere in the world. Although we haven't got much summer here today. It's been raining. But anyway, what's the weather like in Germany at the moment? Is it quite nice?
Yeah, today was 35 to 37 degrees. Was extremely hot. I mean, I spent 1 week in Yorkshire with my cuisine there, and it was 23, 25 degrees and windy. Fantastic week. The last day on Monday in York was hot too, but here it's the air is just standing. You go out and you feel like a wall of warm air. You really can't breathe. So it's not the best weather conditions currently in Germany.
No, it doesn't sound like it. I mean, we went to Scotland. We came back at the weekend. We was in Scotland last week, and the funny thing was, we left on the Friday, and it was it must have been 35 degrees. It was really, really hot. we got to Scotland on the Friday and it was beautiful weather. And then the rest of the week, it was pretty cloudy. It rained a bit. It was windy. The weather wasn't great. And then we came back. And on Sunday, it was 35 degrees again. And Monday, it was 35 degrees. It's like when we was away, we didn't get that weather. But anyway, it was nice to be away. It was great. And actually, Harrogate's a really nice place, isn't it? So you must have had and York as well. Obviously, York's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, Harrogate is lovely, and York is with the Minster and the wall. You can walk on the city wall. Was very nice. Also, there is a lot of nature and green areas in Yorkshire, and we were walking from Harrogate and Knaresborough and Whitby. A lot of nature and sheep and cows there, and it was really nice and total contrast to this busy city life in London, which I normally experience. So and being there with local residents. I mean, my cousin is there for 35 years now, and she's married to a man from Yorkshire, so they know everything about the region, and it was fantastic to have them as tour guides. So, and staying in their house, I had a really great week there.
Yeah, no, Yorkshire is a great place. And we're actually going to York in August for a weekend. So, but we've been there. I've been there before. I've walked along the city wall, and it's lovely. I do love York. It's a fantastic place. And we were actually there last summer. Well, we wasn't in York last summer. We were in Yorkshire. We spent some time in Ripon and Scarborough and places like that, which was good. So, yeah, it is a great part. I used to live in Yorkshire as well before I moved up a bit further north. So yeah, no, it's a great place. So yeah, that must have been nice. And yeah, we had a good time in Edinburgh as well. So it's been a good week. But football's back, and by the time the Euros is finished, we'll be sort of cascading straight into the Premier League again almost. So a lot of exciting things to come. Greg says, I watched the 66 World Cup, but I was only 7. Us winning the Euros was fantastic. Let's hope the end of this month we're winners of the Champions League winners and Euro winners. And that would be incredible, wouldn't it? Well, what a few weeks that would have been. Amazing. So yeah, Greg says, don't you need a passport to go north of Watford Gap? Yeah, you do. Well, I had to get a visa when I moved up here years ago. So yeah, but I think it's expired now, but no one knows. So don't tell anyone. I've got away with it so far. But no, I mean, it is quite. England's got a lot of lovely places, actually. It's got a lot of places that aren't quite so lovely, but that's like anywhere, I guess, isn't it? But the nice places in England are worth visiting, definitely. And certainly Yorkshire is a great place. So this is the Euros then. Euros 2025. It is off and running, and we've had a couple of goals already in the tournament, and our Switzerland still winning. It must be second half started now, is it? It's still 1-0 to Switzerland. So yeah, we might go and watch the second half then, enjoy that. We'll be here, of course, Saturday evening for France against England, the first game from Group D. A big game it's going to be. I think the kickoff's 7 o'clock, isn't it? So is it 7 o'clock? I'm sure it's 7 o'clock. Is it 8 o'clock?
8 p.m. Yeah.
Oh, is it 8 o'clock? Okay, that gives it a bit more time actually. Is it 8 o'clock English time?
English time 8. Yeah. German time it's 9 p.m.
Oh, yeah. It is 8 o'clock. Yeah, good. Actually, it's Wales are kicking off at 5, so that'd be quite good. So we'll probably watch. We'll probably watch the Wales game, and then we'll go live about 7:45 for the England against France game, which would be good. So join us for that on Saturday, because that's going to be. You don't want to miss that, because that is going to be something quite special, isn't it? The opening game of the Euros, the holders against the very, very talented French team. So that's going to be quite a game. So we're looking forward to that one. And of course, the Holland game is that Wednesday, isn't it? The Netherlands game, isn't it? I think that's Wednesday. So we'll be like that. So you'll be over in Switzerland. Is it next week you're going?
Yeah, I'm going on Tuesday. Then I'll see Germany versus Denmark on Tuesday. Then take the train on Wednesday to Zurich and see the Lionesses with the Netherlands. Then back to Basel, and on Saturday it's again Zurich, Germany versus Sweden. Then I change to St. Gallen for the Lionesses versus Wales, and on Monday back home. Yeah. Do you want to send clips for a match day vlog for the Netherlands Wales game.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it? That really would be amazing. Get a bit of atmosphere from the Euros in Sweden. Switzerland. That'd be great. So yeah, look out for that as well. That'll be good. What I'll probably do, obviously, I'll do the game on Saturday. I'll do the game on Wednesday, the 2 England games, and then maybe next week at some point we'll do maybe a roundup of the first sort of the group stage and stuff like that, and see how things are going, and we'll have a look at that. And then we'll obviously hopefully we'll do a few more England games as England progress, hopefully through the tournament. But that's out of our hands. We can't guarantee how many England games we're going to be able to show you. It's just going to be how far England go in the tournament. We've got 3 games anyway to start with, so let's get them done, and then we'll see where we are. Hopefully we can enjoy some knockout football as well. I'm sure Andreas will be back when he's back in Germany again in a week or so's time, or a week and a half's time, and we can look back on the tournament so far at that point. So but looking forward to it. It's going to be good. Euro 2025, it is off and running, and England start on Saturday night, so we're looking forward to that one. That's going to be good. Andreas, thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. Have you enjoyed looking forward to the tournament? You enjoy it? You're excited about looking forward to the tournament, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, I'm excited for the tournament. Seeing a lot of games live in the stadium will be fantastic. And as always, I enjoyed being part of the show. Thanks for having me. And let's look forward for Saturday when the Lionesses start the tournament. It's exciting.
It is exciting. It is exciting. Let's hope that we can keep that excitement going for at least about 3 or 4 more weeks, and all the way to the final will be good. So don't forget to join us on Saturday night for the game. Enjoy the rest of enjoy the start of the tournament. Let's hope we'll get some more exciting games than we've had so far, because the first 2 games have been a little bit low key so far, but there's more exciting games to come. So I'm sure it's going to be good. And of course, Wimbledon's on as well. For those of you who enjoy tennis, I do, so I've been watching that. So lots of good sport at the moment on telly, so it's good, isn't it? It's difficult to leave the house sometimes because there's so much great sport to watch, but you need to get outside as well in the fresh air. Thanks for joining us tonight. I will look forward to seeing you on Saturday, of course, for the game. Of course, thanks to Andreas for joining us. Thanks to all you guys as well. Please give us a like. Don't forget to share and subscribe. Of course, we will be back on Saturday. So enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy the tournament. We'll see you soon. Come on, you Lionesses. Let's do it. Let's win this tournament again. Come on, Serena. Sort them out. Let's do it. Come on. We're going to win it. It's going to be good. So enjoy. We'll see you soon, guys. Take it easy and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.